Hello, my 2nd through 5th grade leaders. Welcome. This is September week number 1, and we are diving into a new month, which means a new series. In this series, we're all talking about friendships. And so with today's friendship story, we're diving into the Bible story of It Takes Two, right? And two people are better than one, which is based off of that Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 12 verse. And so today's bottom line is choose your friends carefully. And our monthly memory verse is going to be a friend loves at all times. They are here to help when trouble comes. And so friendship is all about using your words and actions to show others that you care. And that's where we're diving into this month. And so I also want to pull your focus to thank you guys for showing up consistently. Thank you guys for being there for your few, for your group. And this group of kids, they're going to remember their small group leaders that are there and consistent like you guys have been. And so thank you guys for taking the time each week to do that. And we only have a handful of weeks that we are able to be with them for each year. And so it's amazing to see them build that relationship with you and build that relationship with each other as you guys do small groups together. And so thank you guys for what you do. You guys are doing an amazing job. Please keep it up. And so this week we're going to start off with just kind of getting them all like grouped together. And what they're going to do is you're going to call out a number and they're going to go into groups of that number as quickly as they can. And so you can have them do an action too if you want to have that available also. An action could be like, 2 sitting down or 3 doing jumping jacks or something. And they're supposed to get in the group of however many you called out and then do the action that you asked them to do. So that'll be a fun one just to get them started with thinking about groups or people that are around them. And try to encourage them to mix a lot too and not be in the same group every time. You can even say something like, hey, you can't be in the same group as the people that you had last, the last time we did that's one of the rules or whatever. And so go ahead and do that as well. And then this next activity, you'll have some sticky notes and you give them some pens or pencils or something like that. And what you're doing is you're talking about the breakdown of what makes a good friend, okay? So you can ask them questions like, who is your best friend? What's their name? What makes them your best friend? Why do you think that they're a great friend? All of those kinds of things, right? You can even be like, what are some things that you've done as a friend to someone else that has been like really beneficial or really in love to that other friend. And so talk about those things and you can write down the things that make a good friend or why you enjoy being a good friend on the sticky notes. And that's just an activity to help them kind of put it down on paper and what it means to be a good friend or to have a good friend. Then after the Bible story where we talk about 2 people are better than 1, then we're going to go through an activity with Jenga. And so you'll have some Jenga sets. And basically what you're doing with this is as soon as it actually messes up and falls over and the Jenga tumbles over, then everyone else in the group is supposed to say, we can help, and then all put it back together as a group. And that is just symbolizing, how friends are there to help when trouble comes. When things look like they're falling down, that's when friends can help build us back up into what we're supposed to look like. And then this next activity, you have a build a friend activity page. And it's basically 2 pieces of paper for each child. And so you have this, and then you have the different objects that go on the craft as well. And so they can kind of pick which ones they want to do, and they can color them and use glue and stuff to make it all happen. But basically they're just doing this. And as you're doing this, you're still talking about, hey, go ahead and write down some of the things that make a good friend on this creative craft as well. And so continue talking about those and maybe break down that Bible story more on, okay, what did the Bible story say about, what makes a good friend and things like that too. Then you have a memory verse activity. And with this memory verse activity, you just have a physical way of stating the memory verse, and you're doing it in pairs or, like in groups or whatever, or even all together if you would. And so go ahead and do the groups, put them in smaller groups, and then you have different instructions on what they're supposed to do when they get to that line. So if you want, you can write the memory verse on the board and have that ready for their reference. And then you can, maybe even separate it in ways to where they're supposed to do the different motions or activities that go along with it. And so that'll be a lot of fun, just a fun way of doing the memory verse, and see how fast you can kind of get them all to do it with the motions as well to really get it in their brains. Remember, repetition is everything with memorizing, and so just keep that repetition going for them. And then this last one is your prayer and dismissal. And what you're doing with this is you're getting construction paper strips and you're making chains with these construction paper strips. But what you're doing is you're also writing, have them write like what makes the good qualities of friends on those strips. And then you're, and their best friends. So go ahead and they can either write their best friends or the good qualities of what makes a friend on those strips. And then you're linking them all together in a chain. And then you're praying for the friends that each and every one of them have, right? And if you do have a child that's like, I don't have any friends, because there's always, at least one that does that when we do our friendship talk, then just be like, hey, well, maybe then you can make a friend in this group today. And so then even like talking about what it means to have friendships in community and church and how we can all build each other up. Even if we don't always get along, even if we don't always see eye to eye on everything, we can still be friends and love each other through anything. And that's it for this week, everyone. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you in a little bit.